Hi guys, just thought I would go on here, come live. If you got any questions, anything you want to know, anything you want to discuss, any of our recent videos that you want to sort of have an argument about, if you don't believe in the messages, etc., anything like that, shoot us a message. I think the way we've set this up is you have to be a subscriber to ask a question. So you can subscribe and you can ask anything you want, and I'll just be on here for the next sort of like 20 minutes. So any questions that come to mind, throw them in. Anything like that, we can nail it. In the past, these have been pretty helpful for guys joining the military who want to get a bit more insight into it, and also guys who are just generally interested in those insights. I've been a coach now I started coaching when I was 16. When I was at Watford Centre of Excellence. So what am I now? 34. So I've been coaching for 18 years. And I've been PTing for 7 or 8 years. And then we started Complete Commando in 2020. So Complete Commando's been going for 4 years. In that time, we've had probably 4,000 people come through our programs getting ready for the military. So we're getting pretty experienced in getting guys ready for the military. And this is people join the Royal Marines, the Paras. Had a couple come through to join Special Forces, the German military, French Foreign Legion, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders, South Africans, French, Belgium, Dutch. And it's been really good. We've had a lot of success with it. A lot of guys are now wearing green berets and they're in different services. So anything I can do to help you, anything fitness related, nutrition related, mindset related, anything like that, I'm prepared to answer questions and stuff. So chuck them in when you're ready. This morning, done my own CrossFit workout. And then we did a bit of fit filming for our one-to-one guys. We have a Instagram page for our one-to-one guys, so we fill that with a lot of information and questions, answers, nutrition stuff. So we're constantly putting content into that. So all good, helping young guys and girls achieve what they want to get out of life, push for their goals. So good times. Let me just check what we're doing here. Here you go. Right, there we go. Set up the Q&A, I think. Cool. I hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's getting after it, smashing their training, eating well, sleeping well, hanging out with the right people. These things are all important. Compounded training, compounded eating well, compounded hanging out with the right people, right mindset and stuff goes a long way. And just day after day, week after week, year after year, doing those things leads to progression and hitting some pretty awesome goals. We find that people who are really inconsistent up and down with their training, nutrition, etc., and sleep is a big one in this day and age. You know, with TikTok, Instagram, Xboxes, PlayStations, people are sacrificing their sleep for fake dopamine hits, and that's really affecting our nation. It's really affecting our young people who are not sleeping correctly. If sleep was a bottled drug, it would be a banned substance because it's so potent for performance. And so why do you think that the military use sleep deprivation as a weapon against they use it for recruits to make training a lot harder. They use it against they use it for that, to make military training really, really hard. And so what does that tell you? That sleep is super important. You can do anything on 8 hours sleep, but if you only have 2 hours sleep, that day is hard. Everything is hard. Training is hard. Even cognitive functions are hard. You can tell I'm sleep deprived because I can't even get my words out. That's having 3 children for you. And so, yeah, don't throw away your sleep for the sake of being on TikTok. Be really, really good with protecting your sleep. I've just downloaded an app about 2 weeks ago called Opal, and you can put restraints on apps and stuff like that. And it's a really good way of just like non-negotiable discipline that no matter how I feel at 11 at night, like if I want to continue being on YouTube or Instagram or scrolling or playing chess or whatever it is at 8:30 every night, that app stops me being able to do it. And so it's really good. I'm sleeping better for it. My mindset's better. You're not scrolling through absolute crap. What was the last reel you watched? I don't even remember the last reel I watched, and yet we can easily spend a couple of hours a day on reels and stuff. It's freaking pointless bullcrap. The majority of it, apart from the complete Commando reels, like every other reel is rubbish. No, I'm only messing. So yeah, so look after yourself. Like everyone's vying, everything is vying for your attention. Everything is vying for your time. You've got to protect it. You've got to spend your time well. Are you going to spend your time dumbing down your brain? Is dumbing even a word? Dumbing down your brain on TikTok, just scrolling like one after another, making people loaded because you pay every time you watch their videos, they get paid, over your own goals, over your own things that you want to achieve. You know, like imagine the time we spend on social media. If you put that to good use, how much further down the road would we be with things? If you spend, like, let's say the average person spends an hour on social media, which is probably miles off what they actually spend. Imagine spending an hour every single day on a project or something that you want to achieve in your life, or training or mindset or a degree, whatever it is. How much further down the road would you be? Wazim, thank you, mate. Currently having a small vacation in Tring. Do you still reside there? And what are the best things to do here? Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, so I grew up in Tring, left when I was 19 to join the Royal Marines. I now live up north. Tring's a great little place. Zoological Museum's awesome. That's basically, I think it was Nathaniel Rothschild's brought all these foreign animals to the UK. So I think the first ever foreign animal came to Tring because he had an obsession with that. And so you go to this museum in Tring, and it's got thousands of different animals, from bears to whales to, you know, weird little reptiles. So that's a really good one. You've got the Chilterns, you've got reservoirs all around there. You've got like most canals going, knocking about around there. Tring Park's really nice to have a walk around. That's where I trained, did all my prep for the Royal Marines around Tring Park. Where else? The Aikman's a good place to eat. If you go to 7 Drummond Ride, that's where I grew up. So you can go and check. That's a famous landmark now. No, not really. Yeah, and then you've got like Little Tring. You've got Whipsnade Zoo down the road. So yeah, loads of good places. Good times. Nostalgia. Enjoy it. So yeah, so like as I get older, especially, I'm way more aware of like beneficial habits, beneficial thinking, beneficial movements, beneficial like patterns in life compared to like worthless ones. I think, like, how much time have I wasted doing different pursuits or building someone else's dreams or watching someone else's videos? It's kind of scary, really. And so I hope, like, out of a lot of our content, we're just teaching, or not teaching, that sounds patronizing, but we're just encouraging you guys to live with purpose, and to chase your goals, be consistent every single day with your training, with your nutrition, with your recovery, with the people you hang out with, and all that thing. That's our biggest heart with everything we do here at Complete Commando. It's why we do our weekends. It's why we do our events. We've got an event the 6th of October for 5 days where we're taking 10 guys out to Ben Nevis, and we're doing an exped all around there for 5 days, doing survival, obviously hiking. We're doing sleeping, wilderness camping. eating rations for 5 days and whatever else we can find. And it's because I want to invest in the young guys and show them, look, nice car, nice house, well-paid job. These are not the be-all and end-all, and these things are not going to make you happy. They're not going to give you like purpose to your life. I've worked as a PT. I've worked with a lot of minted people who are very unhappy because they chase the things that society told them to chase. They get to their 50s and 60s and realize it's bullcrap. Actually, chasing purpose and pushing yourself to your limits and finding what you're capable of and taking risks and stuff. These are the things that give real enjoyment to your life. These are things that are really beneficial to every human being. And it's something that society preaches against. You know, to play it safe, get a job, get a mortgage, settle down. It's absolute crap. So take risks. Give up the job that you hate just because it pays well and you're miserable in it. Take a big risk and find a job you're more passionate about, even if it pays you less. You know, even if your lifestyle has to change and you have to buy worse clothes and you have to go on Temu rather than Amazon. You know, chase better meaning for your life. You don't want to get to 60 years old and realize that you've played it safe your whole life and actually you've made terrible life decisions in the pursuit of comfort. I don't want to get to that age and regret these years that your performance can be. You've got the most performance potential in your 20s, your 30s, even creeping into your 40s. So we're big on all of those things with Complete Commando. I want to teach guys to really like live with purposeful living. But yeah, if you got any queries, anything you want to add, chuck a message in here. We used to do these quite a lot. I haven't done these for a long time. Just got quite busy with helping our members. So I want to try and do this a little bit more regularly if possible. Yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone's good who's watching this. What else? What else can I gob off about? One of the biggest things I think working with a lot of guys who join the military, who have got like big ambitions, big goals, and they're unsure how to get after those goals. The biggest thing is a lot of people are anxious or they're unsure what to do and they've lost confidence in their abilities. And so something I've been developing a lot and thinking a lot about recently is that action cures anxiety. Action cures a lack of self-confidence. So I'll give you an example of this. We've got a guy in our one-to-one at the moment. No, we've got a guy at the moment who's been gearing up with us for about a year. He was miles off all the standards of the Royal Marines a year ago. He's lost 14 or 15 kilos off the top of my head. Was hitting like a level 7 or 8 bleep test, and he had like a chocolate mindset. Like his mindset would just melt whenever he got into the pain cave. We spent over a year working with him. Got him up to the day before his ROP. So he got accepted. We got him through. I think he failed his first CPC. We increased his level of fitness and his mindset is much better. He got to the day before ROP, before joining the Royal Marines, and he rang his careers office and said, I'm not ready. So they delayed him till September. So in this period, I've been talking to him a lot about, look, like action every single day, training with intensity every single day, eating well every single day, going to bed at the right time every single day, and hanging out with the right people every single day will cure that anxiety on performance, because you know that you've turned every stone over to get the right performance out of you. You're in the best possible shape you can be, and you've done everything you can be to be ready for Lympstone. And so, as opposed to missing some workouts or not putting the right intensity into some workouts, staying up late, scrolling through TikTok, etc., the day before going to Lympstone, you're like, oh, flip, I don't feel ready, because you haven't put the work in. And so action is a great cure for anxiety. And that's what I'm trying to get across to our members is like, I remember my first boxing match ever, or bout, when I was 19, I think. I had done everything possible to be fit, everything possible to be ready for that. And so I went into that bout really confident. Whereas I've been into, say, some military tests or some CrossFit competitions where I know I haven't put all the work in, and so I went in there with a maybe a weaker mindset because I was like, no, I haven't done everything in my power to be ready for this. Whereas like now, like non-negotiable, if I'm going for a competition or if the other day I went to a BJJ comp, I was like, I am going to do everything in my power to be ready for this. And yeah, came away with 2 golds because I went in with a really positive mindset that like, if these lads beat me, it's because they're better than me. It's not because they've outworked me or had a better lifestyle than me, because I've done everything I can to be ready for this. So if they beat me, fair play to them. They're better than me at jits. So that's my mindset with a lot of these young guys. It's like, do everything in your power to be ready, and that will cure a lot of your anxieties in performance and self-doubt. So you self-doubt when you don't prepare properly. BP, loved your video on mental health. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I've made a decision recently that I want to, if I think something or I believe in something, I'm going to speak it out. I think a lot of us are scared to actually put stuff out on social media and obviously YouTube and stuff like that, or even to our friends, because we're scared of the backlash. But I was like, right, we've got quite a big following, but it's the disingenuine following if I'm not actually speaking what I believe in, because people are following us because they think I think a certain way, etc. So if I speak exactly what I believe and people still follow us, then that's a following that is a real following. And so we've been discussing these YouTube videos where I just want to be a lot more bold with actually the things I believe. And if we get bad comments or people unfollow us, who gives a crap? I don't care. Like, I want to help. My whole mindset is that I want to be a benefit to people, even if it's uncomfortable to people. So if I tell you something that's true and you take offense to it, well, the onus is on you taking offense, because if it's true, it's true. Whereas obviously if I'm spouting rubbish that isn't true, then obviously you're offended by it, then yeah, fair play. But I believe that, like, so that mental health video, we had some bad comments on it. 99% of it was like really positive comments, but you get some bad ones. But actually, when you read those comments, and it's like, it will say things like, you shouldn't be telling people not to open up. It's like, did you watch the video? I didn't tell people to not open up. I said find a small tight-knit community that you can share and be emotional with, and cry if you need to cry or whatever, and you can open up with like 2 or 3 mates that you really, really trust, who will really guard your secrets, really guard your heart. But don't be putting your sob stories on social media and like crying down the camera on stories and stuff like that. That stuff's, for me, is pathetic, and you're just vying for attention. So actually the message was, have a small knit community that you can be really open with, really vulnerable with, that you can trust. But don't be sharing your weaknesses all over social media all the time. Like, I find it pathetic. And I think we've lost a lot of that, like grizz it out mentality. Now, I'm a big believer in sharing in having emotions, feeling your emotions and stuff like that. Like, I'm not ashamed to say that, I can get tearful sometimes and stuff, but in the right context. If I'm on here like crying to you guys, I think it's pathetic. But there's definitely 1 or 2 people that I can open up to who've gone the route that I've gone down. They've been Royal Marines or they've gone SF, etc. And I know that they understand me and my journey, so I can be vulnerable with those people in a close-knit context that, like, away from social media and all that nonsense. So for instance, there was a guy, a PT from Merseyside recently, and I don't know, it said something on social media and he got loads of backlash for it, rightly so, because he's a bit of a knob. And then he put this video up, and it was like, guys, you know, this is, you know, I've been unhappy for ages. This is the end. You know, this is my last day on earth, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed me love and all this. And all the comments were like, no, don't do it, and you know, all this stuff like, we love you, you're loved, you're needed, and stuff. And his account went quiet for a few days, and then a few days later he was like, hey guys, hope everyone's well. And I was like, mate, do you know what I mean? Like, that is not, no, that's, for me, that is ridiculous. Like, you've gone on there to get like likes and views and sympathy and stuff like that. Like, if you're genuinely in a bad way, there needs to be 2 or 3 people in your life that know you inside out. If you go quiet on them, they reach out to you. If they ask you like, how you doing, you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. They know that's a bit of a warning sign. Don't be putting stuff like that on your social media on a live video or whatever. Like, so that was the premise of the videos the other day, the mental health video. And also just like having to stiff up a lip sometimes. Sometimes, like, majority of life sucks. It's not like the Hollywood movies where like everything's about being happy. Happiness is a bit of a myth. Like, feelings are really unstable. Feelings are really unreliable. Like, this morning I woke up and I was like really tired and feeling a bit miserable. Do a workout and now I'm fine. So which set of feelings am I going to believe? Which set of feelings are going to dictate my day? Like, sometimes you just need to put feelings to one side, focus on truth, focus on a goal, and regardless of how I feel, you just attack it, or you just go through life. Like, a lot of guys as well, like, I've found they've, you know, they're maybe their wife's a stay-at-home mum, they've got a couple of kids or whatever, and their sole job for that season is providing for the family. And it's almost like society and Hollywood's like, no, you're made for more than that. And it's like, made for more than supporting my family and putting food on the table and like loving my children and raising them so they're like healthy human beings. Like, is there much more of a greater calling than that? Like, Hollywood and society has lied to us. You know, get a bigger car, get a bigger house. You're made for more than be happy. You know, like, it's utter crap, in my opinion. So that's my take on it. We actually saw a study today that says that Britain is the second most miserable country in the world. And that's really interesting because it's definitely not the second worst country to live in the world. So there's a bit of a chasm between how we live and how we perceive our lives to be in Britain. And so, you know, there's a lot of countries on there that are a lot poorer. Ukraine scored higher than us. They've been at war for 2 years or whatever, and they're still happier generally than we are. So that tells you that we've bought into a lie of our society, Hollywood, films, soaps, etc., that we need to be like happy all the time, and woe is me if I don't have the latest iPhone or a better car, a better house, a better spouse, and all that nonsense. So yeah, it's a real issue in our society. And in that video the other day about mental health, it's like, let's look at where we actually come from. Like World War II, I was talking about like my great nan had to hide my nan under a table and use her body as a shield because in the Blitz, her house got bombed out. And so you go like, what did they do the very next day? They started clearing the rubble, supporting each other. Women took over factory roles, took over the jobs of the guys who were going to war and risking their life and stuff. And I believe that hard times make you appreciate your life more. So I was discussing to Haley, who works for Complete Commando, like, every day in Afghan, you got into your bed at the end of the night, and if it had been like a safe day where no one had got injured or anything like that, you were like, wow, I feel so blessed. I've still got my legs. I've still got my health. Like, none of the lads have died today. None of the lads have been shot or anything like that. Like, and you were just so thankful for everything. We'd get a meat drop off at our PB once a week, and like, it was like, wow, real meat, and it was amazing. And then like on patrols, sometimes if they were like quite chilled patrols, we'd take chocolate out to the local kids, and they'd be like running up to you, and you give them a chocolate bar, and it was like the best thing in their life, like a little chocolate bar. and these are kids who are brought up in like a war zone. And then I remember very distinctly coming back from Afghan and walking around Exeter, and I remember like this 13-year-old girl was like pulling on her mother's arm, like complaining about her phone, her iPhone or something like that. And I just thought, like, what an entitled, miserable culture we live in, where like we've attached our happiness to the things we own, as opposed to the things we already have: health, food on the table, nice warm houses, nice beds, and a family around us, etc. So that was a real eye-opener to me as a young man. I think I was 20, 21 at the time. Made me realise, wow, like, look at these kids in poverty who are so happy. Come back, look at the British kids who are just like complaining about iPhones and the latest console and all that nonsense. So yeah, so we rank second in as the most miserable country in the world. And so that's a mindset shift that needs to change. So videos like my last one are I guess they're offensive to those who have bought into this liberal nonsense, who don't believe that, like, who believe that you need to follow every whim, every feeling that you ever have. And I just believe that is nonsense, and it's just going to lead you down a sticky path. Anyway, I am coaching now, so I've got to go off to the gym and coach a couple of clients. 26 minutes of me absolutely gobbing off. It's probably more than anyone can stand. But thank you for being a part of it today. If you've got any questions, drop it on my Instagram. I'll try and do one of these like once a week or something like that. And yeah, good times. Cheers, guys. Go out and smash it.
Does that save as a video?
Wow, I missed loads of comments.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see
Screenshot this.
How good does your swimming need to be before RM train? I was rubbish at swimming, but just worked really hard. So work really hard if your swimming's rubbish. I have two questions. What makes a good Marine? Integrity, discipline, cheerfulness in the face of adversity, not being Jack on the lads, being a good team player, working hard, having a positive mindset to hard situations. Do you need to be smart to get a job in the Marines? Yeah, I think you do. Map reading when we haven't slept for 3 days is really, is hard. Being tactical, being switched on, etc. When you're knackered, yeah, you need to be smart. Different intelligence to school. Who's your favourite one-to-one client? Not Etienne. Can't lie, mate. Love your talks. Super encouraging. Good to hear. Got CPC in 2 weeks. Any tips? Yeah, spend the next 10 days working your nuts off and then recover. And make sure you go down there knowing you've done everything you can to be good, to be a good candidate. When you go down there, present yourself well at all times. Back yourself. Don't be cocky, but back yourself. Yeah, and don't be Jack. Have your contacts in the military. Have any new sites in the project? Greyburn. It's getting really close to due date. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'd have to ask. Doesn't inspire me. You see people in third world countries being some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. I can vouch for that. How do you like your eggs in the morning? I like them runny scrambled, to be honest. Does anyone know where the new PJFT is? It's a PJFA now. It's bleep test, press ups, sit ups, pull ups to the beep. If you have no friends, no family, and most of your life has been demoralised and you barely have any contact with human interaction, a mental block that has calcified, how would you deal with it? How would you deal with that? I would ask yourself what it is you want to achieve in your life, and then I would do everything in my power to go after it. And then I would really work on some of those things. You're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have a lot of family issues and a lot of stuff you need to work through mentally, and I think you can do that. So I'd try and find some guys who really value you, really care about you, whether that's a coach or friends, and then yeah, I'd really start smashing down some of those barriers and not let them affect you and the things you want to go on and achieve. Sorry, I missed this. Best coach here. Would you agree that Etienne talks too much? No comment, but appreciate that. Thank you very much. Commonwealth citizen here. I'd like to ask, what's the best time of the year for me to submit my application? So it's changed quite a bit since COVID. So Commonwealth stuff's a little bit all over the place. I don't actually know right now what the situation with, so I don't want to sit here and talk nonsense to you. What I will do though is go away, ask a recruiter, and see what the crack is, so that you can get in and serve the Commonwealth. Yeah, guys, sorry, I missed all these, so yeah, apologies for that. What I'll do is next week I'll come on and I'll spend more time. I couldn't see these comments beforehand, so apologies. But hopefully that's useful. Go out, go away, live a purposeful life with purposeful habits. Bin off all the ones that are worthless, like scrolling through TikTok. And yeah, any dramas, any issues or anything, reach out to me on Instagram at Complete Commando, and I will do my very best to serve you. Cheers, guys.